I don't want a dream job. Um, I don't know who you are or what your take on it is, but I've never wanted to work a job. It just never made sense to me. Sitting there, standing there, moving pallets, typing on a keyboard, 40 hours a week till I'm 65. Oh, I'm sorry, 67 because we're living longer, you know. So I guess that is a positive, but I just never seen working 40 hours a week as the goal, right? I have dreams, I have aspirations, but it never revolved around me working for somebody else, right? And I still wouldn't have wanted to work 40 hours a week, you know? Um, I love to make videos. I love to mess around with music and stuff, but that's just what I like to do. I wouldn't want to work that job until it becomes not fun anymore. Realistically, I want my dream job would be to do whatever I want. To wake up, enjoy some gameplay or whatever, find the right person, have a family and stuff, and still do everything I'm doing now, but just like without the 40 hours a week and somebody waving their finger at me telling me what to do, I don't dream of labor. Like, I feel like that's weird. The only reason I say this is because I notice with a lot of these older generations, they've become so accustomed to working that it's like they just expect you to do it now. It's like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want to work for a big company. I don't really want to grind all day. And I mean, it's like, oh, well, what are you gonna do? You know, this is the thing I always hear. It's like, well, if you're not working, man, what are you gonna be doing all day? How are you gonna be fulfilled? In the nicest way possible, you're insane. I could think of anything than doing this. Maybe I could be just sleeping. I love to sleep. Maybe I could be eating some pancakes or something good, maybe something healthy. That's also a scam, how they're poisoning us. But I could be playing basketball. I could be hanging out with loved ones, family, friends. I could be just doing anything. I could be standing outside watching the river flow and be like, dang, you know what? This is kind of nice. But instead, right, I'm supposed to go to work, clock in, hang out with people I don't want to hang out with, get paid a scam amount, get taxed a scam amount, come home, eat some poisonous food, then come back to work. And I guess in their minds, and I could kind of see, right, because let's say, right, like, I was thinking about working at a piano place because that, you know, put me around music and stuff because it wouldn't be as bad. And I agree to some degree, right? You could find somewhere where it'd be cool for you to work and it really wouldn't be that bad. But even there, even at the place I'd want to be at, I could still be at home. I'm still taking orders from some people that I don't really know. Maybe they're cool, whatever, but I just don't yearn for labor. Like, I'm fulfilled right now. I don't have to make a bunch of money. I don't have to work to feel fulfilled. You know, to some degree, I think we're all programmed, myself included, to try to chase after money because that's all they push. So it makes it seem like, well, that's what I need. And to some degree, yes. But I was just thinking, how much is your life worth? You know? Because some guy came into work yesterday. I was cleaning or something. He was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I was like, "Good." And he was like, "Yeah, man, life's great, man. You know, it's like I'm making 100K a year, over 100K a year or something." He's driving trucks, right? So he's traveling the country is what he was getting at, and he was saying life is good for him. I was like, "That's pretty cool." I was like, "That's nice, man." He's like, "Yeah, man." But the problem is, the reason he told me that was because he wanted me to validate him. Essentially, he was saying, "Man, don't you wish you could be me right now?" And no, no, I don't actually. Now, I admit my situation could be better, blah, blah, blah. But one, not a big fan of traveling. I did that as kind of a younger Marcus, so that's kind of burnt out for me right now. I don't really need to go to Maryland. I don't need to go to Detroit. I don't feel the need to want to do that. Um, so that don't really mean too much to me. You're also working, you're driving trucks, so you're actually not at home relaxing. You're working. And 100K a year, um, which I agree would be very helpful for me right now. Um, the only way 100K a year would be helpful is if I had my freedom, right? Because I've made good money before. I've made probably close to that as well at some point. Um, I didn't really care then either. I was more annoyed that I was at work. Work was shit. I just wanted to get home and relax. Now, I mean, the same I guess you could say, "Oh, well, I'm traveling," so yes, but you still get tired of that. All I'm saying is, I never question myself when I'm at home. When I'm just chilling, watching the gameplay, doing whatever, I don't question it. But then as soon as I get to work, I'm like, dude, why am I here, man? None of this is it doesn't make sense. And I just wonder, I'm like, I gotta find some way how to moonwalk out of working. And I don't want any job. Now, I've taken a lot of L's because of that, because there are some people who go to college, get a degree, and get a great job, and it works out for them. I didn't go to college, and I had no real plans to, but I just don't see it working out on a mass scale. So I just didn't want to do it. Plus, if I had gotten student loans, I would have been basically forced to follow the career I was. I mean, it wouldn't have been bad, but that would have been all I had, right? At that point, now what if you get fired? That means a lot because you spent your life doing this. It really, really matters. Whereas for me, I've never been at a job where I just really cared about, so I just kind of migrate and stuff, and there's pros and there's cons to that, but the only reason I did that was so that I could eventually stop working. I don't want to work no matter how much they pay me. Maybe that's selfish. I don't know. Maybe it is because it's like, "Oh man, well, you have to work." Why? This is 2026 with all this BS AI crap, all this invention and how America is so great and other countries as well, how we do so much good, but we're slaving away. Life hasn't gotten that much better. They're still telling us the same BS lies. They're not going to help any of their people. And I start to wonder, why the hell would I want to work? Now, I know why. It's the older generations. Because, and I'm not, we're all freaking culprits in this stupid system. But I do believe because they spent most of their lives working, they lived what they're trying to sell to us, which isn't real, right? So if you worked a job, and then you're 65 or blah blah, and you retire and stuff, because you validated that, you're gonna make sure that other younger generations validate that too. You're not just gonna tell them, yeah, man, I worked till 65, but enjoy life. Just go out there and play video games, do makeup, enjoy life, and then yeah, don't really worry about working. It's not a big deal. To satisfy their own ego, they're gonna want you to work. They're gonna want you to work the way they worked, how they did it, all this stuff. And I'm not doing it. I don't want 5K a month. You know what I want? I want to make enough money so that they'll leave me the hell alone. And then after that, I don't care. Like if I was that trucking guy who was saying how his bills are very low and he's making 100 grand a year, whatever, or something. That's cool. I would just literally work and buy investments and stuff. And I don't think he was thinking of it as he's trying to retire quickly. Maybe he's bored. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's situation is different, right? Some people actually want to work. I don't get that, but there are people out there that actually want, and I respect that. I respect that, seriously. But I just don't want to. And I feel guilty, but it's the truth. I don't have a dream job. Even my dream, my dream job would just be to do whatever I want. I already got to be alive, so it's like, why can't I just live it on my own terms? And hey, if that guy was living it on his own terms, but I guess it's all different, right? Living on his own terms and living on my own terms are different. Mine would be, I have all my free time. That's essentially, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I could be homeless and not work a job and I get all my free time back, but it's not as simple as that, I got stuff I still got to pay back. But when everything gets paid off, which I'm working on it very quickly, maybe Bitcoin will come around. I'm out of here, man. I swear. You know what? Everybody that I know can call me a loser for not having a job and how they're a CEO or blah blah blah. Or I just don't care anymore. I realize they can't be pleased anyways. So I'm not working when I get the chance. I'm good. I'll find some way how to shimmy myself out of the system, and I'll just be that guy who's just like, oh, that's just Marcus, man. Yeah, he doesn't work. He just kind of chills, man. I won't have any fancy titles, but best believe for damn sure I'll be free. Land of the free, home of the brave, right? Couldn't possibly be a scam.